Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to FortressCraft Evolved. I'm Maxon Evolved, and today, I know it's been a while, but today, we are going to do something about these FALCORs. Number one, we're running out of space. You can see some of this stuff over here. I mean, these are 2,000 slot hoppers, and they are full. And then the ones behind it are pretty much half full, and this is just one corner of the FALCORs. So, what I want to get done today, I want to try to completely redo this whole setup. I know we kind of did that in some previous episodes, but I'm not 100% happy with how that came out. So we're going to go ahead and take care of that today. I think that's going to be a pretty involved task, so I don't think we're going to get too much more done from that. But just want to let you guys know also, I have been streaming on Twitch, and I'll put the link to my Twitch down below. We've been playing, some other games. I like to save the FortressCraft for the YouTube audience. So, we've been doing a little Minecraft Dungeons. We've been doing some Satisfactory. I'm thinking about doing maybe even a Scrap Mechanic Survival or maybe even a Minecraft playthrough. I've never played Minecraft, and I think it'll be interesting to figure that out. So, if you guys are interested, check out the links down below. And come check out the streams. I stream, Mondays and Fridays as of right now. I'm back in school, so these summer sessions are pretty intense, so I try to limit it to just Monday, Friday at about 1 p.m. So with all that out of the way, let's kind of take a look at what we're working with and how we can kind of plan on doing this better. So the gist of the setup, if for those of you who may not have been here or seen the video where we set this up, the gist of the setup is this, right? So we have a few hoppers sitting here with some FALCORs attached to them. Now, these FALCORs are looking for beacons, and these are the FALCOR beacons right here. These beacons will just grab stuff off the ground. So, when we kill enemies and stuff, their little parts get picked up by the beacons, and the FALCORs will grab them and bring them back to here. From there, they'll get output onto this little conveyor line and filtered out. All the pristine parts will get filtered out over here to the left. Everything else, if it spoils, it goes to the right. If it's ruined, it gets in here, right? So this is the holder for all the ruined parts. Ruined parts then go into the organic reassembler and get turned into recombined organic matter. So there's a couple things we need to kind of account for in this whole process. So number one, I need to figure out a location to have kind of like, I don't know if I want to resort to mass storage per se, but I want to maybe expand on the 2,000 slot hopper line so that we don't have to worry about quantity. Number two, there are a few things in here. Massive faceted eyes. The other eye, the perfect faceted eyes. These all get turned into lenses and stuff at later levels. So definitely want to keep those on hand. Also, these stingers, those get used in the armor piercing missiles. So I want to kind of set something up. And I think today, I don't want to make the scope too big for one episode, but I think today we'll just kind of reconfigure how all this stuff gets transported and condensed underground. And then from there, we'll worry about, whether, am I going to use this? Am I going to use this? If I'm not going to use it, let's macerate it and try to get, because these drop pretty good ores, like tier 2 ores and stuff. So let's macerate it. Let's get it out of the way so we can keep on flowing. So first thing I'm going to need to do though, I'm going to need to kind of dismantle everything. All four corners, the system, we're going to dismantle. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll bring you guys back on the other side. And now, before I take this one down, this is the last one I have to dismantle. I mentioned that there was a couple things we needed to take into consideration. So, number one, when all of these filters have worked and all of this stuff comes out of it, we get to this hopper right here. Over here goes the spoiled organic remains. There is a use for that, and we'll probably end up setting up what uses that. Spoiler alert, it's a slime trap. But there's also these ruined organic parts and other stuff apparently. So what we want to do, the reason these are in this hopper right here, this cryo hopper, if these ruined parts sit on a belt for too long, they'll spoil and turn into that. So we need to take into account how we're going to basically how we're going to keep these spoiled organic parts cold in the process from being dropped off by FALCORs to getting to be recombined organic matter. So that's something we're going to look into. And I think we're going to be doing this all underground. So let me finish this up and I'll show you more about what I mean. All right, so we're under our base right now. And some of the things I'm thinking, we're over here. I don't know which direction this is. We're in that direction, whichever direction this is. We got a ton of space down here. Now, I need to, there's a couple things that need to be planned for when it comes to this base in the future. Number one, we're going to need a pretty extensive turbine farm for when we start doing the OET. Now, I may end up just extending out this wall, this floor right here, extending out this layer, building a platform and doing all the OET stuff up in this upper area. So that's actually the plan I'm probably leaning towards the most, which means we have all of this space under here that's completely untouched. Now, what I want to do, I want to make something, I don't know, somewhere like in this general area, right? A storage area for all of the material. But I want that to be the only storage area. So, because right now I have all of these hoppers on all four corners that are just full of stuff. Like that's, well, that's a bad example, but some of these are even maxed out or close to maxed out. There's 300 plus. These are only 500 slot hoppers, right? So I don't have the inventory space to move that all by hand, but I need to make sure that when the FALCORs drop, the items, the ruined items especially, are getting transmitted ASAP. So what the few things that I need to take into account, right? I need to figure out where am I going to place the FALCORs. And earlier I had an idea about just kind of placing them, somewhere like in this general direction. And I think I'm going to end up doing that because there's a couple things I can do, right? Number one, I can, well, let's see, I can like mark a square here, right? So if I just get rid of arbitrary square there, right? What I can easily do, well, actually, it'd even be like this, right? I'll have a thing going down, a hopper on top, and then let me put some FALCORs on my belt here. And then I could just easily put the FALCORs around it, right? And they'll go do their thing and drop their stuff off right under there. Super, super easy. So, I mean, I got to figure out exactly where I want to place them, so that's fine. But if we go downstairs, one of the things we're going to need to do, almost immediately, really, is filter out, well, let me actually backtrack on that. There's a couple things that we need to do. The priority that I want is to filter out the ruined organic parts because they will spoil if not gotten off the belt fast enough. So there's a couple, well, there's really only one way that I can think of to do it, and that's, it kind of goes in line with what we've already done. And that is to use the advanced filters, right? Because I have quite a few after cleaning everything up. Here we go. Let's throw them on this one, right? So the thing about advanced filters, though, is that they do specific items. And if you look at the inventory, right, we have at least 5 different, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 different ruined items. So I would need, as far as I can tell, a filter for each individual ruined item. So let me take a look at the regular filters. Maybe that gives me a more, I need a more broad option to hopefully try to get the stuff I need. So, okay, so I can set it to organic items, which is, but that encompasses everything. So it's not super helpful. And I don't think, yeah, it doesn't look like there is, of course I have to, doesn't look like there is like a ruined organic items. Okay, so I think we're going to have to go with the advanced conveyor filters. Not a huge issue. It's just kind of a pain, right? I basically, I need a prototype, right? I need a way, because there's going to be essentially what? I don't know, 12? Yeah, three times four, right? So there'll be 4 FALCORs here, 4 FALCORs there, 4 FALCORs there. But then I'm gonna need to merge all the lines and filter out all the stuff like all the non-ruined things. And then I think what I'm gonna do is once I have, I think that I'm like formulating this plan in my head, and I think this is how I'm gonna end up doing it. The ruined items, I want to have a series of cryo hoppers. Now, the thing about cryo hoppers is they need to be powered too, but luckily we have, coal right here, so that shouldn't be too big of a deal. So I'm going to have a series of cryo hoppers, and they'll be set up in such a way that every corner that has FALCORs in it will filter out the ruined items and matter move them to the central location somewhere over wherever I, end up putting it, and matter move those ruined items into the cryo hoppers so they don't spoil. And then from there, I'll have a couple hoppers in between so that the stuff can move down. Because I wonder about... Oh, actually, you know what? I was thinking what are they? The organic reassemblers? I don't remember if that needs power or not. I'm pretty sure it does. Where is that? Okay. What I can end up doing, right, is having a... Because I'm worried about throughput, right? So if I just end up putting the... Where is it? Cryo hopper. Here you go. So if I end up putting a cryo hopper with 2 organic reassemblers, right? Then that'll take... Now these take 10 per whatever, right? So this would take 20 items out of there at a time. And then, you don't really get too many recombined... or... ruined parts anyway, so I think 1 hopper with 2 of these, and if it really came down to it, I could make it 3. You know what I mean? I could put a 3rd one on there and pull out 30 at a time and not have to worry about the throughput, because my worry is if I do something like this, right, with a belt in the middle or whatever, a pipe, then the lag time, if this is full for some reason, these are full moving and there's still stuff in here, whatever gets on the belt is gonna ruin eventually, and I would have no way of getting that out unless I put like a filter on the bottom and like did some crazy stuff, and I don't know if it's worth doing that right away. So what I think I'm gonna do, I am going to see, look, here's stuff down here, all kinds of random stuff. I think I'm going to set up 1 set of 3 FALCORs right up here. From there, I'm going to make all the belts come together. In fact, where is that going? That must be powering... Oh, that's powering the lasers over there. Okay. Now that I'm actually looking at this, I might put like a buffer plate, because I'm going to need to be going just below all of the coal belts that are under. And I want to make sure that my stuff... Like, I don't have to worry about where I'm actually aiming things. So let me get up there. I don't want to impact the matter movers, right? So let me get up there, I'm going to get that set up, and then I'll show you guys the design that I end up coming up with. Alright guys, so this is roughly the plan that I'm going with. I'm going for 3 sets of 4, so 12 FALCORs, just a little bit outside and centered on these walls. And these FALCORs have a 255 block range, so it's definitely, there's not going to be an issue getting to all the beacons, which, on a side note, I'm going to have to beef up also. Alright guys, let me walk you through what I've just come up with. And we were in the middle of attack the whole time, and we got slammed with stuff. So you can see nothing ruined, only spoiled stuff. So again, that's something we're going to need to take care of down the road. Not a huge issue right this second, but like I said, something we're going to need to take care of. So let me show you what we did. So this is the middle FALCOR. We got 1 output there, 1 output there. They're both essentially just coming right into this hopper that's centrally located. Now, what happens from there is they're essentially going to travel along the roof going this way. I've set up a series of filters to filter out every ruined item. And I think I'm going to need to do this on every corner that I have one of these. So, not a huge deal, but, here's what we did. Okay, so what's going to happen is all of the filtered items are going to end up in their own little blue hopper up here. From there, they're going to be matter moved through this series of matter movers until they get to this one, which will hit down here, which ends up right here into this cryo hopper. I've got plenty of, or I got at least these 2 organic reassemblers. We'll make this remove only. Organic reassemblers, which will output and eventually go to here. So there's 1,500 storage just right here. If I have to throw a 3rd organic reassembler, easy. I'll just put it right there. I don't think this stuff can spoil in matter movers, which is another reason why I'm not putting... None of the matter movers hit hoppers until they get to the end. So I don't think if it's holding a ruined item that it will spoil, but I'm not 1,000% sure. So I guess we'll find out over time. But what's left now I need to power everything. So I'm going to get everything powered up. I'm going to essentially just run this coal line to the back over here and just, I guess, just hit up like a series of generators, because I think that's all we need. And then the same thing over here. I'm going to give 3 generators to this just to make extra sure that it's got all the power it needs. Yeah, so let me just do that. That's literally just, you know, running coal lines and doing all that good stuff. And yeah, I'll do that, and then I'll bring you guys back, and then I'll hook everything up, and we'll kind of see how it all works together. All right, guys, so we got we got everything powered up. I ran the coal lines, and I actually did a little bit more while I was off camera, because I realized that we already have ruined stuff that's not going to fit on there. So, like, it's already spoiled, so that's not going to work. So what I ended up doing is I added this little output, right? So this is everything that's not ruined, outputs to here. And I put a dual matter mover on there because it can do a little bit more throughput, even though I could probably get away with a single, just for the sheer fact that we're only doing conveyor belts. But if I ever increase these to pipes or whatever, then I already have that in place, right? So dual matter mover comes down, shoots it over to here, and then we have our little filter array right here. And the first filter, so this one, spoiled organic remains. So anything spoiled is going to get out of there immediately. And then the rest is just going to filter down, and I have these all set up. And this is essentially the start of what we're, like, our whole storage array, right? So eventually, like, I'm going to double these up, triple these up, quadruple these up, get however many I need to, 10,000, who knows. But, and it's all, everything's been powered up. The cryo hoppers down to temperature is at negative 250. All the batteries are charged. So all that's left, literally all that's left, is to hook up this one belt. So let's do that and see how everything rocks and rolls. All right, so that's something ruined. So we should see all that stuff come over here first. So none of it should be going out perfect. And look, there's, I mean, some other non-ruined stuff. So that should be launching any minute now. I think those are lined up. Just kidding. Those aren't even close to being lined up. Okay. It's all right. We got this. We got this. We'll just do this. And I'll get rid of that. Pick it up. And do that. There we go. I'll fix that later. For the meantime, I just want to see it go. Okay, so here we go. Spoiled organic remains. And we already see this stuff going out. So this is working perfectly. Now, I do have some spoiled stuff. What was that? See, there's some stuff that we didn't pick up. But we can easily make like an overflow hopper. You know what I mean? Just do that. Throw that down. And this was pristine. We'll just type in pristine. Pristine phosphorus clad. Everything except. Okay, so this should be all of our like random stuff that might get picked up, right? So, okay. Did that just fire off? No, not yet. Okay. Is this empty? I'm going to let that empty just because if I put the ruined stuff in there, it might spoil while I'm waiting. But everything seems to be looking fairly decent. Now, we could increase the throughput with pipes and pipe filters. And that might be something. Once I get my crystal elevator up and I start mass producing crystal clocks, because that's kind of, if we look here, pipes, crystal clocks, hardened machine blocks. I'm not making these in mass yet. I do have those auto crafted, but I don't. Well, actually, I do have hardened machine blocks, but I don't have crystal clocks mass producing yet. So until I get that going, in fact, I might even just make a transport pipe room or an auto craft, we're going to use these for now. It should be fine. Like I said, we've got plenty of room for spoils. In fact, I'm going to throw all those in there right now. And then I'm going to throw these 5 items into there once we get some space, which is going to be pretty close because I want to make sure, I want to verify that this works. And because of the depth, right, it's below this top level belt line. For the other, well, depending on the angles, right? For the other matter movers that are going to have all the ruined stuff. So the pristine stuff is going to have to work the same way. I'm going to have to try to hit, you know, somewhere this hopper or whatever with those matter movers. Not a huge deal. But I'm also going to have to try to hit these matter movers with the ruined stuff just to try to make sure that it doesn't ruin on the belts, right? So, you know, from this corner over here, once I get that set up, I'll have 2 sets of matter movers. One that tries to hit one of these. It could be any one of them. It doesn't really matter. And then one that hits this. And then the same thing. I'll combine the 2 back there and bring them back this way. Or maybe I'll make one big loop so I only have to hit this once. I not 100% sure on how that's going to work. But I wanted to at least see this in action. Okay, so this is still empty, right? Perfect. Are you empty? Perfect. Okay, so I'm just gonna drop all this stuff in there. And I already see it starting to go out. So let's see. Like, I see stuff matter moving. That's excellent. That's exactly what we want to see. Oh man, it looks like it's working perfectly. So if I'm right, I should be able to go over there. That should be empty because one of those is working. Okay, not empty, but... Oh, wow, that does go slow. That takes over a minute. Okay. That is good to do. So we might end up actually having to throw one on there, but... Ruined Stinger. How did that get in there? Oh, crap. That's not what we wanted to do. See, good thing we checked, right? We want to do this. We want to do that. Right? Something like that. Now, okay, so this should still be outputting. Or this should be it's still working. 15 seconds. Okay. But in theory, this looks like it works. I think it's working exactly how it should be. And like I said, if I have to, in fact, do I have another one? I'm just going to put that down right there. I'm going to make these all add only. Make that add only. Make that add only. But you can see recombined organic matter. So now I can take, what, 30 ruined parts a minute? All right, so now what I want to do is I want to see about getting at least one more side hooked up to this same system. So this is the one that kind of does all the hard work. And the other ones just need, like, they're just going to need enough power to matter move the stuff to where it needs to go. So let me go check out the feasibility of that. And then I'll bring you guys back once I've got kind of a plan in place. And oh man, the spacing on this could not have gotten tighter. So we're going to do, I'm going to work out this way, which means I'm going to bring the belts kind of in like this, just to make it a little bit easier and give myself a little bit of breathing room. Plus, that's the direction we're eventually trying to end up anyway, so it just kind of works out better if we do it all this way. Okay, and I think I'm basically gonna just hook this one up, get it hooked up, and firing into the system. And I'm probably gonna make this a 2-part episode because this is already running pretty long, and I want to make sure I can get this out to you guys very soon after it's made because I know it's been a while since I uploaded. So I'm gonna probably just do a little movie magic and create something similar to this, and then I'll bring you guys back in when we're ready to hook everything back up. Alright guys, so I think I got the gist of this setup, and I'll just run through it again real quick. It's the same setup. These filters are taking out the ruined parts. Everything that's not ruined is going to get into this hopper and get matter moved across this belt and hit this hopper to this matter mover, and this matter mover should line up right with this dual matter mover. So everything is getting power. I routed all the coal. Everything looks like it's charging up. So I'm just going to hook this up and let's kind of see what happens. There are some things in it. That's fine. I don't know if there's anything ruined in it. Take out some of that stuff though. There is something ruined in it, so we'll see. We'll see how it all works. But we should see stuff get launched over to here. Hopefully. Yes, perfect. And there we go. I think it's working correctly. Look at that. Extra stuff to keep. Alright guys, so I'm pretty happy with this design. And I don't think this is going to be very difficult to, again, make work for other setups. Because, again, all we need to do, if we come from that corner, we can run things either right down the middle here, off to the side, back over here. However we do it, all we have to do is hit this line of matter movers and essentially this hopper. This is the hopper that transmits all of the pristine items. So we need to either hit this hopper or this matter mover, and then it hooks right back up into the system. And then we can do the same thing again with the far corner. Just make sure it hits whatever setup we have over there. But I think I'm going to save that for the next episode. So again, guys, thank you so much for sticking around and being patient. You know, life is interesting right now, and the videos are coming out a little slower than I'd like, but I'm hoping to kind of start ramping up the production here in the near future. And again, if you like what you saw, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Let me know down below in the comments what you think of this design. I've never done anything like this. It's definitely interesting, but I think it's going to make the upper part of the base look a lot cleaner and give us kind of a more centralized access to all of the stuff that we have down here. So one of the parts that's actually going to kind of suck about this is getting all the stuff that's already in the bins. You know, all the 2,000 plus items we have right there. Get them kind of transferring over here and launching with all the matter movers and that kind of stuff. So that'll just kind of be a process. We'll get it done though. We'll get it figured out, and we'll get everything centralized. And yeah, with that, guys, I'll get to making the second part here fairly soon. I'd say I could probably do it within the next couple days. Maybe get it out by this weekend, but don't quote me on that. And oh, Spider Bro going at it. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna call it here. Thank you guys again so much, and we'll see you in the next one.